Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today's video is dedicated to the hooded eye or the smaller eye. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my favorite brushes to use on hooded or smaller eyes. I get this question all the time, either, in a YouTube video that I share or emailed to me at bkbeauty.com. Which brushes would I select for a smaller or a hooded eye? And I have answered this email so many times and I thought, why don't I make a video to reference and send to people and really explain the why behind it. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 5 BK Beauty brushes that I would recommend and why. I really want this video to be more educational. Obviously if you don't have these BK Beauty brushes, you might have something like this already. So I'm going to explain why these brushes are good, and then you can decide what you need, what you don't, what you already have, or what you might be shopping for. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to go ahead and actually do my eye makeup and explain why. The first brush that I'm going to share with you guys is the 202, just because I always start with the crease, but certainly, you might not start with the crease, but this is the brush that I would recommend from BK Beauty for the crease. We really have this one in the 201, which you can see is much larger and rounder. The 202 is more tapered, so it's going to have more control, which is going to be better for a smaller or a hooded eye. So I'm going to go in and create my crease. I like to use the tip of the brush, and I'll pick up product first with the tip. I don't really swirl the whole brush in there because, again, I want control. So you're going to want to look for a brush that it has a more, that is smaller in size for a crease brush, and something that has a tapered tip is ideal. Just get the product on the tip of the brush. Let me actually zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit better. Okay, here we are. So we are just picking up the product from the tip. I'm using the new Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I always like to kind of tap off with my finger. Avoid tapping on a plastic product or a palette or anything like that, because you can you can damage the ferrule or the handle. So just use your hand to tap, and then I'm going to use that tip to build my transition or my crease. Now I have slightly hooded eyes. If I look directly in the, if I'm looking straight on, you can see, and I'm not raising my brows, you can see that I have a slight hooded eye. It has definitely fallen as I've gotten older, like, it does for all of us. I used to have a lot more lid space. Now I have less. So I would consider my eyes, there's different levels. Is levels right? There's different types of hooded eyes, right? They're not all the same. I'm going to start here, use the tip and kind of work this into the crease. Because this brush does have that tip, it is going to really allow you to control application, but because it's still a soft, fluffy brush, it's going to blend. You want to avoid getting something that's too stiff. If your brush is too stiff and pointy, it's not going to give as soft of a blend. Now that might be a great tool for a more cut crease or creating more definition, but if you want to, something that's going to blend and soften, you want something that's fluffy. Okay, let's put this hair back a little bit so we are not so distracted with it. Here we go. Okay. All right, so that is the first brush that I would recommend from BK Beauty for the crease, is the 202. The next brush that I'm going to recommend is, now you don't necessarily need these both, but I want to show them both to you, are BK Beauty 207 and the BK Beauty 204. Now these are smaller, more precise brushes. You can see the 207 is larger. It's basically a pencil brush, but it's got a rounded tip, so it's still fluffy. So this is going to do a great job of packing color on in a particular area, but also having that rounded tip is going to help give a softer edge to it. This actually would be great for someone that has really small eyes or very small lids, or your eye is completely hooded and you kind of have to lift up to apply product. You could actually use this for an eye lid brush, okay? You don't necessarily have to use this just to smoke out or to put in the outer corner. This could be used for your actual lid, okay? So, and I know that's not typically what you see in a pencil brush. You usually see a pencil brush being used for this outer corner, which I'm going to show you guys. So I'm going to go in and grab a slightly darker shade, and we're going to pop that in the outer corner here. But again, for really small or hooded eyes, you can use this as an eyelid brush, okay? So use this to actually pack on your lid color. I'm going to show you that next. So I'm going to kind of just wipe off what is on here, and we'll go in with this shade right here. This is the actual, it's the brow bone shade, but we're going to use this to pack on color on the lid. Even though it's a pencil brush, it's slightly larger than some other pencil brushes, and I'll show you one for example. So this is the Sigma pencil brush, okay, the E30, and you can see they're kind of similar in length, but they're very different in shape. This Sigma would be really great for lower lash line or outer corner, but it's not really going to be the best for your eyelid because this is going to give more coverage and give a more like even application, where this wouldn't really work great for your eyelid. So this is a truly kind of unique type of pencil brush in that sense. So I'm going to go in and show you again how you would use it for your lid. So even though it's small, it does a good job of, you know, giving some good surface coverage. So again, this would be great for lids that are really small or really hooded. Okay, the next brush that I showed you is the 204 Smudge It brush, and this is what it looks like. It's very small, it's very short, it's very dense. This would be really great for lower lash line, and this is great for all eyes for lower lash line. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hooded eye. You could also use this for the outer corner. Again, if the eye is really small or really hooded, you could use this in the outer corner, and I'm going to just take that same shade that we just did, and I'm going to use it to apply that outer corner. There you go. Okay. The other brush that you can use for lid if you have hooded eyes, but if they're very small, again, I would probably go with the 208, but the 203 is our shader brush. And this is kind of like your typical, you know, basic shader. I've got a couple other here from MAC that I wanted to show you. They're 213 and they're 239. Also, you know, you can see the size is comparable. The shape is comparable. Ours is a little fluffier at the tip, so it's going to kind of give a softer edge to your shadow. But this would be really great for your basic lid. You could also use this for all over. So if you are, you could also use this for underneath your brow. You could use it just to kind of put your basic all over color. Or you can, of course, pack it on the lid too. This is our smallest like shader brush, our smallest eyelid shader brush. So this is why I would recommend it over something like our 206, which is larger. Let's see if I have a 206 here. Yeah. So this is our 206. You can see that it's quite a bit larger. So it's going to be a little too big for a hooded eye. Or our 205, which is larger and it has that contoured side. The 203 is the one you're going to want to go for your lid. To complete this eye, I'm going to go back to the 207. You can see that this brush is very, very versatile. So I've used it for the outer corner. I've used it for the eyelid. Now I'm going to use it for the inner corner. And I'm just going to apply that color right here. For a very small or hooded eye, this brush can kind of do a lot of the work for you. It can do your lid, inner corner, smoke out your lower lash line, create a crease for you. It's a really, really versatile brush. And again, because it's got that rounded, fluffier tip opposed to other pencil brushes, I really feel like it gives more versatility and it gives you more options. Okay, and the last brush that I want to share is our 208, and it is the tiniest angle brush you might ever find. I love this brush. This brush makes eyebrows really easy. It also makes winged liner or really precise liner. If you, the thing with a hooded eye is typically it's hard to get your eyeliner to either not take up all the real estate that shows on your lid, or it's just easy for that liner to look too thick, right? So you want to have a very controlled and defined eyeliner. This will help you achieve that. If you like to use shadow or gel, if you like a pencil or a pen, obviously, you wouldn't need this brush, but if you are someone that likes to use a gel liner or a shadow, which I'm going to use right here, I'm going to use the shade Lash Line actually, and I'm going to load this up. Now you do definitely want to tap this off. Again, just use your finger so we don't get any dented ferrules or handles. And you're just going to press it into the lash line. Because it's so dense, it's going to pick up that shadow and make it look like a rich cream liner. I also like to use it to give a little bit of a wing. It makes a subtle wing liner so easy. I really think it's impossible to mess this up. Okay. And then of course you can do your lower lash line as well, which I'll do here. And you really just kind of want to press it into the lash line. You don't necessarily want to draw it, you want to press it. That way you get a nice, even, consistent line. Okay, I'm gonna go do my other eye and I'll be right back. I actually wanted to show one more trick with the 202. You can get the product on the tip of the brush, but what's really great if you wanna lift the crease a little bit or lift the eye, use the tip to apply, but turn the brush upside down, and those tapered bristles are gonna kind of create that crease, create like a diffused halo above your crease, which is going to give the illusion of a more lifted eye. The thing with a hooded eye is we don't really have a defined crease, right? We have to create it. So this is how you do that. You put the tip in the corner in the crease, and then you turn the brush upside down to lift. I'm gonna go back here and do the other side. This eye, my eyes are very, this one is droops down more than this side. So I kind of have to do what I can with makeup to help lift this side. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in with my 207. Where did you go? Where did you go? Okay, here it is. All right, we're gonna go into smoke and we're going to create a little more definition out here. I do love this pencil brush because typically with others, you'll have to go in and place it and then you'll go back in with the blending to blend it. But this one really, I mean, it kind of does the blending work for you. You can always go back with the crease brush to really soften it, but sometimes it's not even necessary. I did want to show the 204 in action. So this is the small smudge it brush. This is a really great brush for the lower lash line. And again, this is great for all eye shapes and eye sizes. It's a really great tool to soften lower eyeliner. I like a pretty soft liner, even if it's dark. I want it to have a soft edge. I don't want it to look too harsh. It just creates a bit of a more like smoky, sultry look to the eye makeup. And that wraps up this video. I hope you guys found this information helpful. Again, I'll have the brushes that I featured in the description box below. Be sure to always use Lisa J10 and you get 10% off at bkbeauty.com. I'll also list the other MAC brushes that I recommended, but really I wanted this video to be educational so you guys could take a look at your current brushes, see if you have something that'll already work, or if you're interested in BK Beauty, maybe this will help you kind of make your final selection. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.